students, and welcome to my online class for class 8th Social Science. Here I am with the video for the chapter 6th Weavers, Iron Smelters and Factory Owners. This video is presented before you by Dr. Basant Tiwari. Now let us begin with the learning. This chapter basically tells the story of the crafts and industries of India during British rule by focusing on two industries mainly, textiles and iron and steel. Both these industries were crucial for the industrial revolution in the modern world. Mechanized production of cotton textiles made Britain the foremost industrial nation in the 19th century, and when its iron and steel industry started growing from the 1850s, Britain came to be known as the workshop of the world. Now, let's know about Britain's industrialization. The industrialization of Britain had a close connection with the conquest and colonization of India, as you have seen in the chapter 2nd, how the English East India Company took interest in trade and how the pattern of the trade changed over the decades. During 18th century, the company was buying goods in India and exporting them to England and Europe, making profit through this sale. With the growth of industrial production, British industrialists began to see India as a vast market for their industrial products, and over time, manufactured goods from Britain began flooding India. Well, how did this affect Indian crafts and Indian industrialists? This is a question and we have to explore in this lesson. Indian textiles and the world market. India was by far the world's largest producer of cotton textiles around 1750 and before. Indian textile had long been renowned for both their fine quality and exquisite craftsmanship. European trading companies started buying Indian textiles for sale in Europe. Here we have an example of patola weave in mid-19th century. Patola was woven in Surat, Ahmedabad and Patan. It was highly valued in Indonesia. It became a part of the local weaving tradition over there. Memories of the flourishing trade and the craftsmanship of Indian weavers are preserved in many words still in English or in other languages. European traders first encountered fine cotton clothes from India carried by Arab merchants in Mosul, nowadays Iraq. So they started referring in as the textile known as muslin, a word that acquired wide currency. The cotton textiles which they took back to Europe along with the spices came to be called as calico. This calico word is derived from the word calicut, and subsequently calico became the general name for all cotton textiles. There are many other words which point to the popularity of Indian textiles in Western market. You can see a page of an order book that the English East India Company sent to its representatives in Calcutta in 1730. This order book talks about 98 varieties of cotton and silk clothes. Each item in the order book was carefully priced in London. These orders had to be placed 2 years in advance, and there were variety of clothes available in Indian market. Now, look at the names of different varieties of clothes. During 18th century, there was a craze for printed Indian cotton in England and Europe due to their exquisite floral designs, fine texture and relative cheapness. Now, look at the names of different varieties of clothes in the book amongst the pieces of ordered in bulk printed cotton clothes called cheech, kushas or bandhana. Do you know, students, where did the English term cheech come from? It was derived from the Hindi word cheet, a cloth with small and colorful flowery designs. The rich of England, including the Queen herself, wore clothes of Indian fabric. Similarly, the word bandhana now refers to many brightly colored and printed scarf for the neck or head. When we talk about bandhana, it is the anglicized word of bandhan, a Hindi word for tying and dyeing. Here comes the example of jamdani clothes. Jamdani weave in the early 20th century was the fine muslin on which the decorative motifs are woven on the loom. Often a mixture of cotton and gold thread was used. The most important centers of Jamdani weaving were Dhaka in Bengal and Lucknow in United Province. There are some other examples also in the order book that were noted by their place of origin. For example, Kasim Bazar, Patna, Calcutta, Odisha, Charpure, etc. The widespread use of such words shows how popular Indian textiles had become in different parts of the world. With this, we come to an end of this video. For the next topics of the chapter, we would be having the second part of the video. Till then, thank you and have a great time.